What's up, guys? This is episode 55. I think this is 55. Is this? Yeah, I think this is 55, actually. Yeah, episode 55 of Sunday Sessions with Rich podcast. If you're new to the show, welcome. This is all new to me with YouTube. So, wherever you listening from, much gratitude and blessings to you. If you can, just leave reviews and ratings. It helps my platform tremendously. Now, on today's episode, guys, I have the owner of Luminecent Luna, whose mission is to provide healing and spiritual guidance. She's also the host of this amazing podcast and actually one of my new favorites, Question Everything podcast, which can be found on YouTube and all streaming platforms. Kelsey, welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being on. For people who don't know, just tell us about yourself.
All right, so my name is Kelsey, and I create content on spirituality, and I guess you could call it the truth content or conspiracy theory content.
Yeah,
I did, I did start out on TikTok a year ago. I blew up on there, and I got banned. So then I moved to
that's
making a
crazy.
podcast. So I created a podcast, and I keep my content on there, and I just help people heal. And then I opened my own crystal shop, and that's
That's
what I do now.
dope. That is so dope. Wait, so TikTok, I could never figure it out. How did you, is that where you just like everything just kind of took off?
Yeah, I took off on TikTok during like the quarantine when everyone was at home
That's
not doing anything.
crazy. That is mad. So walk us through. So where can we, I know you have the crystal shop. Guys, I'm gonna add the link at the bottom of the description here. I saw something on Twitter that you posted, and that's what really made me really appreciate and like you. You posted about Dolores Cannon, and I don't find
Oh,
too many people who like know about Dolores. And you was I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. Like people who don't know who Dolores Cannon is, excellent what you call it, like a medium, a channeler. What would that
he
technically
was a hypnotherapist.
hypnotherapist, and she talked a lot about like background characters and ETs, and I was like, fuck, I like you. I kind of got my. Oh, I do want to talk about background characters. I don't know if like, are you do you believe in background characters?
So I call them NPCs,
I
and
love
I kind
that.
of refer them as people who aren't awake. So they're on
Okay.
autopilot, like not embodying their soul, not embodying who they are. So they're like non-player characters. They're just on autopilot.
That's so real because I've noticed a lot with just I guess people who just can't grab certain things, or you'll walk past something and this you just get this feeling like I don't think you're real. You're probably just a program like this flesh that's just like meant to be in my matrix, and I'm like, no, something about you ain't right.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
sometimes I do think like maybe they are like robots or like literally
see,
non-player characters, you know?
just think about the Matrix though. You got the the Matrix, and you have Neo, you have the agents, and I really think that's the case with some of these people. Like, of course, like you said, you have those who are just asleep, but I genuinely think it's some robots in here. Something.
I don't doubt it.
Something.
I don't doubt it.
Something. No, I wanted to your Dolores Cannon. You was it like a TikTok little video?
Yeah, so I came across her content probably a year ago when I started my research, and I bought one of her books, The Three Waves of Volunteers. It's really thick, and I wish I could get it out, but
Gee,
everything's packed, if you can see
that's
back
a
there. But so it's like this big, and I'm like almost done with it. But basically, she puts all her sessions that she has with her clients, and what she
oh,
does is she has clients who have like health issues or have struggle in their love life or at work, and they're not happy, so they go to her to see if in the subconscious they kind of like buried something or something that they're not aware of.
that's
And it's so
crazy.
interesting. It's like how our subconscious like blocks everything, and that's why we should do shadow work on our own besides like if you want to go to a
Yeah,
hypnotherapist. But so basically she puts them under hypnotherapy, and she starts talking to their subconscious, and their subconscious comes out, but essentially the subconscious is the collective consciousness.
hmm,
So it's like everyone has the same like background kind of with
yeah.
individuals like trauma. So
Mhm.
the stories that people say, like most of the people who like have leukemia or struggles with love or work, it's
Mhm.
because one, this is like their first lifetime on Earth, and they're probably from another planet. They're
Yeah,
not used to this atmosphere. They're not used to the density because we do live on a third dimensional density planet. So they come from like the fifth dimension, the sixth dimension.
yeah.
So they come here and then they get diseases or manifest illnesses and stuff because their body is not used to it. Oh, their soul is not used to it. But yeah,
That's
it's
so
crazy.
wild to
And
think about that though. Like, you don't think about like the fifth or I guess like the fourth, fifth dimension, but just like our other cells or just different entities is an adjustment coming through, just like it was for us coming into this dimension. I didn't even think about that. That's interesting.
yeah, like I tend to think about it too now that I had a past life reading, and I guess this is my first
Yo,
lifetime on
how
Earth,
was
and like
that?
amazing.
That's
Amazing.
crazy.
So I like look back on my childhood and I'm like, wow, so that's why I had this, that, and that's why I was so weird. That's why.
Yo, that's all. Wait, hold on. What is? Wait. Oh shoot. Give me one. I might have to. I'm gonna just have to edit this part because my sound is off. And wait, can you hear me? Okay. What did I do? Sorry about that. Uh, Why can't I hear me? It's so strange. Um, like a speaker. I'm so confused. What is wrong with my laptop?
What is it saying?
Oh, there you go. Okay, the sound just wasn't coming out. That's so weird. It stopped all of a sudden. I'll just edit this part. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Um, Trying to see where this is so weird. Okay, I wasn't sure what you were talking about the past your past life reading. I completely missed that whole thing. So I'll just edit the. This is so weird. I'll edit that part, and then if you don't mind just going back and just talking about that, that would be great.
Yeah, so I had a past life reading like a month ago, 3 weeks ago. I don't even know what time it is. Like I have no concept of time. But anyways, I had a past life reading probably like 2 weeks ago, and she said that this is my first lifetime on Earth in like hundreds of years.
That's
I've only had
crazy.
like 4 to 5 lifetimes on Earth, and I'm not. I'm from like the seventh dimension, eighth dimension. I don't know, but I came here to help with the ascension, and
Same.
it's just and it's crazy to think that you just like had a gut feeling about it for so long about like, yeah, I'm not from
Mhm.
here, like this is weird. I don't associate myself with other people. I don't understand why people do these things. I don't
Right.
understand, like I see things differently. I don't. So it like validated a lot of things in my childhood as well. It validated a lot of things that I feel and I see. And she even explained that she was like, you don't see things the way like normal humans
Nope.
see them because they've been so trapped in this 3D mentality for so long, and they've had more lifetimes on Earth than you, so you're not used to the
That's
density. And
crazy.
yeah, it's crazy.
When you break it down like that, it makes so much sense. Like I know I'm like a star seed, so I know. Did you ever like just watch the stars as like when you were younger and just think like I belong
Oh
up
yeah.
there, not down here, and you never understood why. But I guess that was like your soul is letting you know that. But it's so interesting. Like I didn't think about that. So they started on the 3D, and that's all they know. So from their vibration, we can't blame them.
Yeah.
That's so wild. Okay. That's interesting. I was listening. I listened to a lot of I guess like a lot of like channeling videos. 'Cause I'm also a medium myself, so I channel from like the Galactic Federation, and just my guides. And it was like this one message that I stick with now, and it's that people are acting the way they are based on their vibration and the information they've received and accepted. So whenever I feel myself like about to like, we all have like our thoughts about like the pandemic and all this shit that's going on. But then it's like, okay, I understand why you're acting the way you are. That's just your vibration right now.
Yeah. So you resonate at.
That's where you resonate at. That's so interesting. I know you talk you are you do you believe in parallel realities and dimensions?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I had to make sure. It's so just the concept of manifesting and creating is so interesting once you, I guess, remember about parallel realities and dimensions, because it's just so many decisions that you make, think, and feel. And it's to think like all of those are like happening right now. And whichever whatever your vibration is, it's just where you match that frequency. And just it's cool. It's cool.
It's insane. It's like parallel reality shifting and
Yeah.
yeah.
The thing is, like movies and TV shows point out about this a lot, but we don't like. Well, now we do, but before we didn't put two and two together. They literally tell you this stuff, though.
Yeah, it's right in front of our faces and no one pays attention and then they just tell us we're crazy.
Exactly. Call us the I'd say the conspiracy theorists are the new gatekeepers. That's my new thing. It's like it's just this whole thing is just wild. How have you been I guess like adjusting and like maneuvering through all this BS, but it's also helping the awaken, like the mask awaken, I guess.
It's not easy. It's definitely
It's
difficult at
not.
times. I think it's just the fact that I say I'm planting seeds. I don't try to wake someone up. I just plant the
Mm,
seed. And
I
I'm not
love
going to
that.
force anyone
Mm,
to open their eyes if they've been so programmed, And that's
so
why
true.
I say that on my podcast. I'm like, if this doesn't resonate with you, that's fine. It's not for you. It's not the right time for you. It might not be in this lifetime. So
Yeah.
not a lot of people will understand, but those who do resonate with things I say or when I try to start a conversation about it, then I continue it. But
Mm,
it's in regards to, let's say right now, for example, the vaccine. I'm not going to tell someone don't get it, like
right.
it's difficult right now. That conversation has been so difficult for me, especially with my loved ones. I
Yeah.
just I'm not going to tell them what to do because I know deep down their soul knows exactly what they're doing and
Right.
they signed up for it. And that it sucks to say that, like your soul signed up
Yeah.
for this, but I mean it did, and they might be the ones that have to take it for the rest of humanity, or they signed up for it to learn a lesson. I don't know what it might be,
Yeah.
but even some spiritual people have taken the vaccine, and at
I've
first I was
seen
like,
that.
whoa. I was like, whoa, wait, what's going on? But then again, like that might have been their soul contract, and maybe
Yep.
they might not even get the negative effects
Yep.
from it, or who knows. But it's if it resonates in your gut, I always say follow your intuition. If their intuition tell them to get it, then
I
I mean.
guess so. I'm glad you mentioned soul contracts, and when you look at it from that perspective, it helps you to understand. Like we don't know what other people's soul mission is or what the soul wants to experience in these bodies. Every decision you make is divine timing is what's supposed to be. So obviously you were supposed to, you know, do whatever you was supposed to do.
Yeah, it's crazy trying to explain that to people too, because sometimes when horrible things happen to them, you don't want to say, "Oh, that's in your soul contract,"
Right,
you
right,
know.
right, right. Because it's they were like, oh, you're being insensitive. It's like,
Yes.
no, I just kind of know like why it's happening in your life right now. That you just like you just don't that I've been finding that recently, and it kind of made me shrink a little bit for like a short amount of time. But like when people like we know we're familiar with like timelines, right? And creating whatever timeline you wanna exist in. And then when you offering a scenario to someone and they kind of like shut it down, it's like, no, but I know this is true. This is my reality. I know it. It's weird. It's so weird.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Like we were all living our own personal reality through our perception, and I mean it goes
Mhm.
along with where you're resonating at too. Like I highly believe that most of us are resonating at that 4D 5D level
Yep.
already.
Yep.
But other people are still in that 3D fear, and like sometimes I forget. I really forget that we're in a
Yeah.
pandemic. I just don't. I like today I was at a restaurant and I forgot my mask, and
Mhm.
I was just like, oh shit, like I forgot we're in a pandemic. Like it just doesn't make sense to me.
Especially when you forget, like it's one of those pointless things that I personally hate the mask. Like I don't I feel like I'm being suffocated. Well, we are being silent, and you definitely can't breathe wearing those things. So I despise them. Any chance I get, I'm anti-mask. I always will be anti-mask.
Yeah, I don't wear it when I walk outside or
It's
walk in the
like
park.
no, like no. You
No, I
need
went hiking
oxygen.
today without it. I need oxygen.
Unlike you, I want to breathe. I need oxygen. Fuck the
Exactly.
bullshit. I wanna you want to your recent episode of Question Everything podcast, which can be found on YouTube, and are you on Apple and Spotify as well?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm right on. I'm right on. You was talking about modern medicine and just talking. I know it's big on big pharma, and just the crap that they give us, and also like the foods as well, and the chemicals and Monsanto, and like the list goes on and on. Talk to us about that episode and why you just wanted to talk about that.
Like I said, recently with the vaccine discussion, it's even frustrating me. And I like with the conversations that I have with my friends, they just think that this is it. Like that's the cure for us to have a normal life again and all that. I'm just like,
No,
guys, no, there's more to this.
that's
And I've just been
more.
there is like, and then like I always go back to how powerful our minds are and how we treat ourselves and how we take
Yeah,
responsibility for our own health, you know? And
yeah,
then once I started doing this research, I started getting in this rabbit hole of like, and it's actual science too, like the science of epigenetics having an effect on our genes because people feel so victimized by their genetics. They're like, oh,
yeah.
well, my grandma had diabetes, so I'm gonna have
Right.
diabetes, you know?
You're programming
So they
yourself at that
create
point.
it. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
create it for themselves. And that's what epigenetics is. It's by their environment. And there was this doctor who was talking about how this kid who was adopted into this family, the family too, I think the brother and the dad had cancer. I don't know what
Okay.
cancer, but the adopted son eventually got cancer as well. Because it was
Yeah.
in his environment, but it wasn't
That's
because he wore blood. So
crazy.
yeah, and people don't understand that, like how powerful your environment is, how you treat yourself, and
Yeah.
where your mindset is at, you know, and it has all those factors. It's not just medicine, and I feel like medicine is a band-aid, and I don't know how else to like talk about it because every time I do,
Yeah.
they're like, "You're anti-vax, you're this, you're that,"
Right.
and I'm
It's like
no,
no, I'm not. I'm just, presenting facts and research that I've done. I'm trying to help you just a little bit.
exactly.
A little bit.
I think
No,
it's also people like to stay in like that victim mentality without even realizing it. And I used to do this too. I take full
yeah.
responsibility for that because I look back and reflect on like how I used to be and like yeah, I would blame other people for the way
Mhm.
I was choosing how to live. You know, I'd be like, no, they invited me to a party, so I went to go drink. No, like
Right.
you get to choose if you want to go drink alcohol. You get
You
to
made
choose
that
if you're going
conscious
to
decision.
yeah, so there's so many factors to that, but I mean, the victim mentality complex needs to go away because we need to take responsibility for everything. And
Right.
I mean, there are victims and people do there
Mhm.
are bad people out there, but at the same time, you get to
That
decide
mindset.
whether you take yourself out of the situation
Yes.
or if you want to improve it.
You need to be either because it's all good and dandy complaining, whining. You need to be solution oriented. Yeah, you can look at things in multiple ways. This is how I look at life. Okay, what is this trying to show me? Or why did I attract this? I either attracted this because of some subconscious programming that's being presented in my reality, or maybe my vibration earlier when something pissed me off just came back and bit me in the ass real quick. You never know. But just ask yourself, what am I supposed to learn from this? And not take it personal. I feel like when you take this experience so personally, you lose that inner child, that childlike, joy of just creation in this fucking matrix.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree.
That's because it's I mean it's easy too, right? You have the hardships, but just even with like this, I feel like people just because I was victim of having a victim mentality, and speaking from experience, it's kind of like you want somebody outside of yourself to save you. So it's like I feel like it's like any victim, like the damsel in distress, like someone come save me instead of like no, hold yourself accountable, do the fucking shit, stop being a lazy ass, and do the work. Like it's that simple.
Yeah, do the healing. It's not easy. We've been
It's
programmed
not.
to think we're victims, you know, to think we're powerless because they don't want us to know that
Hmm.
we are these infinite beings. So they keep us at this victim mentality to
Yeah.
control us. And oh, you need us to survive. You need
Like
medicine to survive. You need
no.
food, and they like the lack mentality goes along with that too. And it's just
Ah, that last. Well, you touched on a lot of things. We talk about the same things. There's the damn. I guess with what am I trying to say? The fear-based mindset, right? I've realized that it's like it's two strong emotions in this experience: is love and fear, and they um the peoples of the worlds just like puppet strings and just they understand this. Have you ever seen Monsters Inc? I feel like this correlates to this abstracting the fear from the children.
Yeah.
It's the same shit, literally the same shit.
Yeah. They harbor our energy.
That's so wild. I'm pretty sure that movie was like an in your face of this is what we basically do to you.
I mean, people also say it has a lot to do with the child sex trafficking that goes on too.
So true, so true. Cause I don't know how deep you can get on YouTube. I'm still testing the waters. Um, but I know some people, well, in the media a lot recently. I think it was like I saw something on Twitter, I want to say a couple weeks ago, and I think it was a front cover of I think like front cover of some famous magazine, but it was about Silicon Valley, and I think it was just them talking about the abstracting blood from minors for anti-aging, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Yo, this is the shit we've been saying for the longest, and now you just willy nilly just talking about it like it's just some common shit."
Yep. That's what they do. That's literally
That's
what they do. And like we look back and we're like, and we were the conspiracy theorists. Like we were telling you.
right. Like they put it in your face, where it's just like you can't ignore it.
Yeah, it's really
You
sad.
it can't like, but it's really weird. Like I'm at you understand why things are happening, right? At the core, everything is just, you as source or you as energy or just the consciousness or whatever. But there's, lower and high, aspects of yourself, like any and everything. But everything is contrast. So in any game, you need the good and bad guy. You need that contrast to know what you don't want is to know what you do want. So both people are, well, not both people, I guess both parties um, are just playing their role. This is all a script, a play, a movie, a scene, right? And you have the people coming out. I think Dolores mentioned that as well. I was watching one of her things on YouTube, and that's when I had like kind of like sparked that remembrance and just like do my own like psychedelic trips. But no, just everything, just having that perspective on life, it makes you kind of like not be too deep in the whole bullshit of the matrix, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, 100%. I don't pay attention to news at all anymore, like at all. If only it's the things that people send me, or my
Yeah.
my dad always sends me headlines too. It's kind of funny, but I don't I don't find it interesting anymore or
No,
anything. Like everything's a distraction, and
that's all it
I
is.
mean
Yeah.
it does leave me ignorant to like current events, but at the same time, like that's why I have Twitter and you guys.
Right.
Like it's
Yeah.
and it's just I'd rather focus on helping people heal, helping myself heal, and focus on my own energy than let them harvest my energy. Because like today, I saw a headline about how Bill Gates' ex-wife is accusing him of being friends with Jeffrey Epstein, all that
Hmm.
jazz, and I'm just like,
That's
it gets you
wild.
like it gets you like hyped up because you're like, oh my god, she's finally gonna tell people. Like
Yeah.
it's like a false sense of hope because they did this with
Yeah.
Ghislaine Maxwell, and it's just like I'm not letting them have my energy
No.
anymore because I'm tired of it.
Have you? Because it's interesting. You see different. I just started just calling them dimensions or timelines. Like you see it in your everyday life, or you see it like on Twitter. Like I see one reality where we're going, like just conscious, like the I guess the 5D, and then I see like the other matrix kind of still on its last legs kind of shit. But you see it, you can see it all the time now, and it's really interesting. Like, and especially with like the distractions and the deceptions from the media. I'm like, I know
Yeah.
what y'all doing now. You ain't slick. Everything is
No.
calculated.
Yeah.
Everything is
It's so
calculated.
funny.
I'm telling you. What do you are you I think I've are you familiar with human vibration and Human
On
Vibration,
Twitter?
Rambo, Murph, yeah, on Twitter.
Yeah.
They I was listening. They helped me realize the whole CGI with the new shit. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, it's
That took me
crazy.
kind of. I remember because I came across Rambo, and I remember just scrolling on my phone on his. And Rambo, if you're watching this, man, salute to you, bro. Um, I was scrolling down his tweets. I was like, damn, and like it's just one thing, one dot, one connection after another. I was like, fuck, I didn't know any of this shit. And I peeped the podcast, and then I found Human Vibrations. Like shit, I didn't know anything. I knew the news was bullshit, but I was just at the fucking tip of the iceberg.
Yeah. It's insane how like well they do it too.
It's because it was a couple pictures on not YouTube, Twitter, where they was having like, if they was like doing a scare for like COVID, like on the news where they show like sick people and shit. I was like,
Yeah.
bro, this is a genius. First of all, and I never put two and two together. If you're in a sick ass ward, why are camera people in there taking a photo? I've
No one
never.
ever thinks about it. No one ever thinks about it.
It makes no sense. Why are you in a famished community with sick looking people and you're just lollygagging? Like, what? Because you're not. They're paid actors. I was like, that makes so much fucking sense.
Yeah. That's why I
That's
question everything.
You gotta question everything. Is this rabbit hole is deep as shit.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why when I was like really deep into it, I was like, no, I need to chill because you do get trapped into it as
Yeah,
well.
you do.
And I feel like that also like leaves us at a stagnant energy because at
Mhm.
that point it's like we just keep repeating it. So we're just like, now what do we do? We need to change. So we need to
Yeah,
like step out of it and like start taking action, like
yeah,
stop watching the news or stop voting, stop doing this, like people are talking about it so much, but like what are we going to do next, what's the next step, what's the next move? So I think the next thing is to like create the solution from a different state of consciousness because obviously the state
yeah.
that we're in right now is very low and very dense, and so we need to create the solution from a higher state of consciousness, meaning that it's going to be more internal, meaning more
Mm.
people need to start healing and looking within rather than expecting a savior or a president or a person from the sky to come down.
What do you think about? So, have you noticed they've been talking a lot about aliens. So, I think like some either fake ass invasion is gonna pop off, and I think that like our real alien selves and be like, nah, like this ain't it.
That's not my
That's
family.
not my family, and everything just go to shit, and everything just like I keep having not a vision, but I just keep getting this feeling like when soon as they come, that's when everything's going to be interesting as fuck. Like I feel like it's going to change everyone's perspective. Because if you think about it, if you're like Christian or like religious, not knocking anyone who isn't and religious, but how do you explain aliens when you see it? Right? That's not in the Bible. That's not what it talks about, right?
Yeah.
But how do you react to it? That completely shifts the paradigm of what you thought was true. And then you question everything. And as I'm saying this, I'm getting confirmation. So I'm getting like goosebumps saying this shit. But I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. Like I think that might be like the icing on the cake that just makes everything this I don't know.
Yeah, Project Bluebeam. I mean,
Yeah.
they've said they've been wanting to do it since forever, so I don't know. I thought it was gonna happen last year,
I thought
honestly,
so
but
too.
who knows?
I thought so too. I was like, okay, this is I know it's gonna happen. I hope it happens soon because I'm bored in this matrix. It's getting a little bit, I need a little bit of action or something.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Even if it's
into
just a hologram.
Yeah, for real. For real. I know I've noticed that a lot of like division tactics is going on with this whole pandemic as well. Is to kind of like forcing people into, mask or no mask, vaccine or no vaccine, and just putting people against each other. And it's like it's fucked up. It's smart, but it's fucked up. You got
I know.
people.
My favorite argument is like I don't want to not wear a mask outside because I'm gonna look like a Republican. I'm like,
It's
How
like,
does that
what?
correlate with you breathing?
Right. What? How does that even make sense? How does that correlate with anything? It's like, no, because I guess it's kind of like people pleasing too. Like you don't want to, because I don't know. I was when I was in the UK. I came back from the UK, and I would like everywhere to stop wearing masks at that point. Like fuck it. On the thing it says if you're exempt, you don't have to wear the mask. So I just say I'm exempt, and it was working for a good chunk of the time. And then, but you feel people just giving you the death stare, and you feel their energy. It's like, damn, bro, I can't even grocery shop in peace.
That's so I don't know. Like that mentality, like I understand it, but at the same time it's like
Right.
the virtue, what do they call it? Like the
Wait, I know
hero
what you.
virtue or something.
I
Like they're
think that.
trying to, yeah, they're trying to be a good person to show everyone that they're,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Like if the mask worked like you guys believe it does, then surely it around you is fine. No matter what I got going on. Isn't that the purpose of a mask? I thought that was the purpose.
yeah. I mean, like it just all that energy too. It just makes me so
Yeah.
like the arguments about it too, like making a big
Yes.
deal about it and stuff. It's just like the video. I don't know if you saw it on Twitter today. There's a video of this guy yelling at this girl who wasn't wearing a mask, and
No.
he was just like, "My grandpa died of COVID or something," and just yelling at her. And she was calm and she wasn't doing anything. And
Yeah.
at that point, like you've been in the store with her for like what, an hour or so. Like, what's the point of making her
Right.
go put on a mask? It's just it doesn't make sense.
Or just like
Nothing
walk
makes
away. They
Yeah,
it's like I can get the whole death thing, right? You genuinely believe that it's because of COVID. That's because that's what you've been told. So I get that, but it's just like the triggering aspect where you forget that before this, if flu existed, still exists,
yeah,
and people don't talk about that. And you didn't wear a mask then. You didn't, social distance. You carried on. You let it, into your system. Fight it like a normal immune system does. Live on your merry life.
exactly.
That's the true fucking cure. That's the you are the cure. You've been the cure the whole time. I'm convinced I had it last year. I had it for like 2 days and then I was fine. It was like it's just overhyped. It's just deception, big ass deception.
Like I said earlier, the placebo effect, nocebo effect. Your brain is powerful, so if you're listening to the media telling you you might die, you might get blood clots, you might get this, then obviously your body's going to react to that and manifest it. I mean, it also depends on other things, your vibration and everything, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's not taught, and that's what also frustrates me. Obviously, they don't teach us this in school. They don't teach us about our
No.
energy. They don't teach us anything. So it's
Of
like
course they
once
wouldn't.
we wake up to it, we're like, "Wow, okay."
You feel me? That's what I'm kind of. I was on that route. My book. I'm working on a book right now, and that's one of my missions. Just like to help people wake up quicker in the next incarnation, if you will. So when you come back here, as soon as you find my book, you're waking up. That's the whole
Yeah.
point of it. I'm giving you the blueprint. We got creating to do. Help us continue on this mission that we came here to do. And I think like I think it's important too with like platforms like yours. Like I'm pretty sure you might get flack for like something you say, but it's like who cares? I'm not in business for you to agree with me. This is my opinion. This is my platform, my podcast. You know, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. But it's important that, and I appreciate that like platforms like yours, where it's just your mission, you're here to help the collective, and this is why we came here. This is literally why we came here.
Yeah. There is this other podcast that I listen to. She's so funny and I recommend it. It's called
Ooh,
Awakening OD.
awakening.
And she's a comedian too, which makes it even better, but she's hilarious. She's like, I guess someone made fun of her, or not made fun, but they were annoyed that her intro song was like 3 minutes, and she's like, well then just don't listen to my podcast.
Like
Like, this is
this,
my content. Like, I'm an
right,
eight-dimensional being that came down to help you guys wake up, and I'm just speaking my truth. And that's really
right.
why we've been stuck in this like follow the crowd kind of scenario, because people are too afraid to speak their truth, too afraid to go
Mm-hmm.
against the status quo. So when people get shut down, like get hate or like me get censored and stuff, and they just like, oh, give up, then that's not gonna help. I'm gonna continue doing it
Right.
whether like people start hating me or whether I get censored. Like when I got banned on TikTok, I was like, nope, I'm still gonna do it, and I made a
Yep.
podcast. So,
Let's go. You can't
like,
stop me. It's what they want. It's kind of like if you do it, you bow down. It's like, bro, no. I'm just find a different outlet to do it.
yep,
That's so wow. I was wait, what was the name of that? You said Awakening?
it's called Awakening OD.
OD. Is it on like Apple and Spotify?
Yeah, it's not Apple on Spotify.
Oh, dope. All I listen to is podcasts now, so I'm definitely go check this out.
Well, I was actually referred to it by one of my listeners. She was like,
That's
check this out. Like, she's so funny. Because I'm also very, like, I'm just blunt and I say the truth and everything.
yeah,
So she's also like that. And it's hilarious. And she, like, channels her being. Like, she's an eighth dimensional being
that's dope.
who, and she refers to her human as just that. Like, my
Yes.
human has anxiety and all this. And we're learning, but it's so funny.
Damn. My
Yeah.
human is my human is experiencing anxiety. That's so weird. It kind of like that's wow.
It's kind of like dissociating a little bit. So I don't recommend it if you're not there yet.
Yeah. Have you thinking? I'm definitely gonna check that one out. What's your take on like the ETs and the reptilians? Like I'm always curious talking about this.
So when I started that research, like I was kind of confused because people would be like, "Oh, they're demons. Oh, they're
Yeah.
this, that. They're not really reptilians, they're not aliens, they're actually demons and stuff." But then once I started realizing what demons and angels actually are, and
Mhm.
essentially what they actually are is just high vibrational beings or low vibrational beings. And
Yeah.
most of the times, our own shadow can be a quote unquote demon, depending on like how much shadow work you need to do or how much
Yeah.
trauma you've like suppressed, because that also manifests into your own like little shadow person that's attached to you. I actually had
Great.
one attached to me that I had to heal for it to
Word.
detach from me. So it's just
Wow.
people don't realize that it's just energy, you know. So and the more energy you give it, the more power you give it. And like Nick Hinton says it. There's this word for it, but it's kind of like when a collective of people think about it, it becomes like a thing. It's
Yes.
like
Yes.
the devil and stuff. Because I asked him the same question about how Saturn and Satan are alike, but it's just energy. It's just like negative energy. But anyways, back to the question.
No,
Um,
I love it. I love it.
yeah, I do believe that like reptilians and Anunnaki and all that are like actual
Yes.
beings, but they're not beings on our dimension. Like they're in the
Hmm.
40, I believe, and they use our vessels or they use the elite vessels to kind of go the drive throughout the matrix. But at the same time, like the more that I think about that we're connected and we kind of mirror each other. So
Hmm.
essentially they are like our shadow of us, like, so it's not us versus them
Right.
because we're all one. So we can't keep blaming the external because this is the experience that we signed up for,
Yep.
to like balance the polarity, to know the negative and positive energies. So it's just like
Mhm.
that perspective took me a while because I always was like, it's all their fault, it's them,
Yeah.
it's the reptilians and all this. But at the same time, we need that balance, we need that
We
negative
need
and
that
that
balance.
positive balance. But
That's so
yeah, it's just gonna
true.
take a lot of like I said, inner work to realize that like we can't keep blaming the external.
We can. I guess shadow work is it's it's important. Um, and something that's not really talked about enough. Well, I guess because it's not enough awareness. Well, no, let me switch that creation. It is well known now for people to do shadow work. I always correct myself when I'm like saying like an intention or some shit because I don't want to like create that reality. Um, but not knowing that whatever you went through childhood or what you went through as a teenager, all that is stored in the subconscious, and it's why you attract certain people or situations. If you have like a lack mentality or just not not having self-esteem about yourself, all that is still present in your everyday life. And I feel like it's kind of like how not how do we like it's our responsibility, but how can that be like taught in schools? Like this, I don't know. That's what it kind of needs to be placed at.
I think just how to process our emotions better, even as kids. I
No.
mean, that's the best time to learn, especially, but we were never taught that. We're never taught to
No.
actually feel our feelings or talk about them, especially because like our parents were taught the same thing, so they're obviously going to teach us that, or like they
Exactly.
were told the same things, that like shut up and don't cry, like, and didn't allow
Yeah.
us. So they were told that, so obviously they're gonna pass it down to us. So now it's our turn to like stop that, like,
Hmm.
generational, like, you got to start feeling your feelings and not putting in the back burner. Like, it's okay to cry, it's okay
I
to,
love to
but
cry.
it's also at the it's also like a balance of not dwelling on it either, and
Yeah.
not making it worse for yourself and allowing your ego to get in and with those thoughts and make it worse, but allow yourself to feel for however long you need to feel. And that's why a lot of people do have triggers and they don't realize it. They're like, oh, why
Mm.
does this person make me angry? They don't take the time to like
Understand.
internally
Yeah.
look inside, like, does this stem from my father? Does this stem from a ex-boyfriend? Does it stem from abandonment issues? Whatever it may be. But like,
Mm.
people don't take that time, and it's difficult to try to get people to actually look in, because you can't make someone heal.
You can't.
You have to let them like realize, oh, I need to do some healing.
Need to fix my shit. It's interesting, like when you're observing people or like you having an interaction and you can like pinpoint, okay, you're projecting right now or you're either
Yeah.
triggered. And it's like, I can't really blame you. I'm gonna just back up. I can't take this serious.
I always call people out projecting, and even myself. I'm like, oh, so you're projecting, like, stop.
But that's you have to, and that takes like accountability, real accountability for yourself, to like calling yourself out, like, okay, maybe I shouldn't have sent that text. That was definitely me projecting some shit. That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, that's shadow work in itself right
That
there. Like,
is.
being like, oh shit, I was projecting. I'm sorry. Like, I need to heal this, or I need to look into it, and then just take the time to
So
nurture yourself.
if you think about it, like, I don't know about you, when I was younger, like, I think we all have the habit of like talking to ourselves. But have you ever questioned, like, okay, why did we feel like it was comfortable to talk with ourselves, and who are we talking to? I feel like those are the two important ass questions when you think about that. It's like, why am I naturally just talking to myself? Why do I guess not hear that thought in my head, but how would you even explain that? Because is it hearing when you having the conversation in your head, but I guess it's kind of like telekinesis. I guess would be the best way to describe it.
Yeah, some people don't even have the ability to hear their own voice or to see things, and that's crazy.
Yo,
Yeah,
really?
when I
I didn't
found that
know.
out, I was like, and then, but some people say that they might be NPCs, like they're literally the non-player characters, and I'm just
See,
like,
told you. If they
because
admitting it, I don't know.
I mean, I don't know, but that's insane. Like, I talk to myself all day, and it's just
Right.
like, once we realize that some of those thoughts are from our higher self, we're just
That's
like,
so
oh,
wild.
yeah.
It makes so much sense because I didn't even know that. Not like people, they can't hear their thoughts, but I never thought that was like telekinesis. Because think about it, like, too, no one really questions about the pyramids. Like, they probably think like some strong men just like picked it up and put it up there. Like, no, like it was our alien brethrens and telekinesis powers. Like, it got to be done.
Yeah, and I mean, it's possible. The only reason we can't access those powers or access telekinesis or telepathy or any of those is because we've been so, like I said earlier, programmed to think that we need externally, we need validation from someone else. We need
Right.
this from, we need a savior. Like, we have it all within us. So because of that programming, like, I'm not this enough, I'm not that enough. Like, you need to
Mhm.
step into that power and to step into yourself. I mean, I'm still working on it too, but I've been practicing,
Facts.
like, I turn off the flame, like, I turn, like, the matches, and then
Uh-huh.
I'll stare at it, and I'll be like, "Turn off, turn off, turn off," and it turns off. It's really
That's so
fun.
cool. I'm gonna try that. I
Or,
got
like, the
some
incense
matches.
smoke. Yeah, the incense smoke where you light an incense and then try to make it just go straight up. Like,
Hmm.
it's perfect for, meditation too, because 'cause you're staring at smoke, just focusing on your breathing and, like, telling the smoke to go straight. But it's cool because you practice your powers, and you practice your embodying in your own sovereign being, which you are, so.
I'm gonna try that. That's interesting because I have a lot of incense. What do you? Oh, I wanna talk about this though. What do you think about us being in a dome? Like, this is just a dome.
I honestly I honestly ask the same question to everyone because I the hollow earth theory makes sense to me,
Yes.
and some of the flat earth theories do make sense to me too. So it just
Yes.
like, but I don't, because I've been seeing a lot of videos recently too of how we might be in the dome and space is actually water.
Right.
And like there was this episode that they were comparing it to, like in SpongeBob, how Sandy Cheeks lives in a dome, and when she
Oh,
goes onto the water, she wears a spacesuit to breathe.
damn.
Yeah, and then like there was they were comparing it to that, and I was like, wait a second, wait a
Yo. Damn, now you got me thinking. That's wild. Okay.
and I mean they put everything in shows and movies. I mean,
Exactly. Damn. Okay. I didn't think that's interesting. I was reading this book, some Atlantis book, and they were describing that the Atlanteans during that time they couldn't go past a certain point, which was a dome. Um, and then they were kind of like it was kind of like an amnesia wall or some shit. They kind of like probably paraphrasing that, but essentially, they couldn't go past the dome essentially, and it had me thinking like, okay, if of course they knew they were an experiment, right? You know, simulation. What about the same premise here? Why haven't we've only been to the moon once? Why haven't we gone back since then? Surely technology has advanced so greatly by then, but we haven't been. So
some
what's the
people
real?
say that during 2012, like that shift, because there's a shift during 2012, that
Mhm.
we're actually not even on Earth anymore. We're on a different planet. So we shifted
That's
into a different, completely different planet, and that's why like everything changed. And like that's when the Mandela effect started happening too, like
mm,
2015 and stuff. I mean, like we're always hopping timelines, like you said, parallel
yeah,
dimensions. But this one kind of like I was like, wait a second, we might not be on the same planet that we thought we were on. But I mean,
that's
the moon
wild.
thing too, like it just doesn't make sense to me
It
either. Like
doesn't.
we haven't
No,
been to the moon.
I remember I was in the planetarium here in Chicago, and I was like in the space station. I wrote on a note like, I know that you guys can go to the moon, and I put in a little box, and I was fucked up. I was like, I know
Oh
your
my god,
secret.
I love that.
I know your secrets, but it's so I feel like either they come or aliens. You might see my cat like pop up in the computer. Don't know what the hell she's doing. You see, damn, I kind of lost my train of thought. Thanks a lot, dude. No, you see. Oh no, that's what I was about to say. No, so like just extraterrestrials, shifting in dimensionally, right? Just popping up into this reality since everything is a frequency. But I always wonder what's at the bottom of the ocean. Like it's only so far you can go to creatures. I'm pretty sure it has to be like some, you know, spaceships down there. Like, come on now. Something's not
I
adding up.
mean, when people were talking about that video with Sandy Cheeks, they were like, well, as above, so below. So that means like space is water and then the ocean's water. So, but I mean, I don't know. That's kind of freaky to me, that theory.
Fast. Wait, say that again. The ocean is water. And
So that
then
means space is water as well. So we're in like kind of like Sandy Dome's cheek or Sandy Dome, Sandy
Sandy
Cheeks
Dumb
Dome.
Cheek.
I've had a long day.
It's okay. I love it. I love it. Damn. So water is actually space.
Wouldn't that be insane?
That's I can see it. I can actually believe it.
I mean, and then the channelers that I follow, like on YouTube, like Elizabeth April or Lori Ladd, they've been talking about how there are alien beings in the
Yeah.
water that they astral travel to or they have
Wow.
communicated with. Yeah, but not all of them are nice, obviously, because there's a polarity of good and evil. But
Damn. Oh, can you well after this, I mean not after this, but can you send me those? I'm always down to watch new things on YouTube about channeling. So that'd
oh
be
yeah,
cool.
I'll send you all my people.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Damn. So even underwater, you have your good and bad. So like you said, it's just about the polarity. That's interesting. Because have you ever? I looked at the stars. Like when I was in the UK, like you can just see all the stars. No, it was like no. I wasn't like in the country, so like no pollution. And I sat out there. I would I worked out there, but at nighttime I would just like go in the garden, like just smoke a spliff or whatever, and just like stargaze and shit. And I looked at the lights and I thought, like, what if these are just projectors? Like just projector screens in the fucking sky. That wouldn't be a far-fetched thought.
At this point, no, nothing's really far fetched. I mean, in our community, at least.
You feel me? Because there's
Yeah.
so many of them. Like that's every inch of the blackness is spared with like a light. How is that like really?
I mean, it kind of, I don't know. When I talk about that as in like a space fig, is this like a dome? It just throws me off with astrology and how
It
accurate
does.
astrology is. So
Right.
I'm just like, what is it? What is it? I don't know.
Because we can't denounce astrology because it is real and it it does have its thing. It's just mechanism in this whole thing. But that's what throws you back. Like it has to be some type of space because of astrology. And it's like, but something's not adding up.
Exactly.
Something's truly not
Like,
adding up. I
unless
always, go ahead, go ahead.
unless like space is in the dome, like there's a dome outside of space.
I can see
So
that. I can see that being. Have you seen a Truman Show?
yes.
I'm thinking it's kind of similar to that. All props. So space is actually in the dome. Damn, that'll be wild to think about though, but not so far fetched. Why haven't we, like in Antarctica, isn't it like a certain place that we haven't gone past because it's like something, but really it's probably like a portal to a different dimension or something?
Yeah, I mean, there's restrictions over it and stuff. I mean, I also wonder about Bermuda Triangle too. Like, what the hell happens
Yeah.
there?
Do you think it's just like shifting dimensions though?
It might be, yeah. Honestly, the Bermuda Triangle I haven't really looked into that much,
Fair
but
play.
for on the Antarctica, I feel like it's a huge lab that they have over there,
Yeah, I
and they're
can see
either
that.
cloning people or doing other awful things. But I mean, there have been channelers who have astral traveled over there and said that they don't even want to
Yo,
talk about it because of how bad and awful
damn.
they do things over there, but it's definitely not human. Like it's not human people doing things to other humans. It's like alien beings doing things to people.
That's wild. That is wild. Are you familiar with the movie? What was that movie that came out? The Godzilla versus Kong. If
Oh, the one I want to watch it so bad, but I don't have HBO Max.
I don't want to spoil it. You can. Am I allowed to say this on here? Fuck it. You can if you go on series online. That's where I watched it at. But damn, I don't want to. Damn, you ain't see it, so I don't want to spoil it. But peep all the subliminal gems in there. And we're gonna revisit that conversation because it's interesting as fuck. It talks.
Yeah, everyone's been telling me to watch it, so I need to. I gotta watch it.
They talk about Antarctica, and that's the only thing I'm saying. But I was gonna tie it to what we was talking about Antarctica, and I was like, damn, they literally these movies, of course, these movies and TV shows, they literally show you in your face like this is what what how reality is.
I mean, it's also there's a lot of reasons they do it. That's like desensitizing us to it, so
Yeah,
people say you're crazy, like it's just a
hmm
movie. Like, calm down, and
that's
then also like getting our consent. Like, we told you what we were doing, so you consented to it, so we're gonna do it.
damn. It's a psychological trick though.
Everything is
That's
psychological.
fucked
Crazy.
up. That is fucked up. Because they can say that we showed you, we told you, you consented consciously. Damn, that's fucked.
Yep. Yeah.
That's so that's so fucked.
That's why
That's,
every time I watch anything,
mhm.
even if there's like subliminal things in it, or I listen to music, because I'm not gonna stop myself from enjoying these things. I'm not gonna be
Right.
like the paranoid person that's like, no, I'm not gonna listen to that because that's subliminals. I still like I just say I claim my energy. I'm not allowing any subliminals or any messages get into
Mm,
me that I don't agree with. I only accept like positivity. I don't accept this
love it.
negative energy. Like I always claim my energy before I watch it and after too. Like even as silly as it sounds, but I want to step into my power and I'm
Yeah.
not gonna let them psychologically manipulate me anymore. So
I don't give you consent to manipulate me at all. Be gone, bitches. Fuck you, me.
truly be gone.
Be gone. I always ask this last question, Kelsey, to all my co-hosts on the show. What would be your message to humanity during this time?
I think that everyone should turn off their TV.
Facts, big facts.
No, honestly, like worry about your own healing and start focusing more on your internal wounds and all of that. Like take time for yourself and be honest with yourself. Like be honest. That's so important right now to be honest with
Yeah.
yourself. And it's okay. to have a setback too, because I know during the awakenings a lot of people have setbacks of like getting triggered or
Mm-hmm.
feeling like they're not on the right path or whatever, or having rough days with shadow work and stuff. Like it's okay, you know, it's okay
Yeah.
to have setbacks, and it's okay to feel like I don't know, we're so programmed to think that we always have to be doing something. So it's okay to like lay in bed all day, not do anything.
Sounds
You're here
lovely.
for you're here to exist and you're
Yeah.
here to experience and you're here to live. So it's okay to rest and it's okay to listen to your body, listen to your intuition. And it's okay if you're not even ready for healing too, but take the steps towards healing.
I love it. Take the steps towards healing. I like that. Guys, well, Kelsey, actually, this is a fun ass episode. I was looking forward to this episode when I reached out. I was like, because I resonate with your content so much, but it would be fun to chop it up with Kelsey. So thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you so much for having me. It was so much fun.
I'm glad. I'm glad. Guys, everything with Kelsey will be underneath the description below. Still new to the YouTube thing. I'm used to like Spotify and Apple, which is still on Spotify and Apple. I'll get this YouTube thing down pat. You guys are part of the journey. You love me. I love you. We rocking. Guys, as always, reality is a direct reflection. Be mindful of your inner talk and be kind to others. Create your best reality and keep being fucking powerful ass creators. Kelsey, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.